Hi, everyone. I'm Dana Ponsky, your guide to college, and this is Being Jewish in College's video series, Kibbutz in 10 Minutes. Today, you're going to get 10 minutes of valuable information from Hannah Rosenberg, the Director of Engagement from the Drexel University Hillel. Thank you so much, Hannah, for joining us.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Awesome. So, as always, my first question is, can you give me the name of the Jewish Center on campus?
Sure. So Drexel Hillel is at the Perlman Center for Jewish Life, and it's a university-owned building and a truly impressive architectural space. Any campus group can reserve the space in the building through Drexel's event services, and we're very popular student center for study groups. We're located right across from the first-year dorms and down the road from Greek Row.
Awesome. Can you let us know how many Jewish students you have on campus? In particular, what is the breakdown of secular, humanist, reconstructionist, reform, conservative, orthodox, whatever identifier students have?
Absolutely, yes. So Drexel is a very large private university with 15,000 undergraduate students, and we have around 900 self-identified Jewish students on campus. So it's about 6% of the total undergrad population. We don't know the full breakdown of denominations of our students just because we're a pluralistic organization, but I would say that we have every type of Jewish represented and supported.
Okay. Are there kosher food options available to students, and if so, what are they?
Yes, so the Perlman Cafe is on the first floor of our building, and it's a kosher cafe open Monday through Thursday for lunch and dinner, and there's a variety of cold grab-and-go meals for students rushing between classes, or a hot buffet option to enjoy in the dining room or to go. And we're in Philadelphia, so there's lots of kosher dining establishments within walking distance or public transportation.
Wonderful. Are there weekly Shabbat dinner gathering opportunities that are available?
Absolutely. So we have three minyanim. First is our Orthodox minion group. They're called OMG, and I just find that very funny. They meet every Friday night and Saturday, and our Soulful Shabbat community, they gather every Friday for more alternative services that are more conversation and singing based. Mm-hmm. And finally, our conservative minion group meets about twice a month, and they're growing. So all three of these minions happen up on our third floor of our building, and as they conclude, everyone comes downstairs from the third floor worship space to the first floor dining room to enjoy Shabbat ritual and dinner together, but you don't have to attend services beforehand. Anyone can join for our free dinners, and we average around 50 to 100 students at dinner each week, and we also have a popular host your own Shabbat program too.
Oh, very awesome. So are there any Jewish studies majors, minors, or Hebrew language programs that are available for students?
Yes, so we have a growing Judaic Studies department, definitely looking to expand, but right now what we're offering is Judaic Studies minors and Hebrew language courses, and Judaic Studies courses do satisfy the elective requirement for a lot of majors, so that's very helpful. We've also worked with some students for independent study for academic credit. So for example, a small group of students were learning Gemara this past term, and they got course credit for it, which was pretty cool.
Very nice. That's pretty cool. If there are any political or social justice climate issues on campus, such as any BDS movements or anti-Israel, anti-Zionist, anti-Semitic situations, how has the university dealt with them? Particularly, has the administration been supportive of both Hillel and the student body?
Yes, great question. We get this a lot. So I'd say Drexel is a very apolitical campus. Most of the politics that we see is encouraging peers to register to vote or attend a rally in Center City. And we're very grateful to have so much support from the university and the Office of Equality and Diversity for when there are anti-Semitic incidents on campus, but it's not very often. And of course, we have all types of opinions about Israel, as every college campus does. But we send birthright trips every winter and summer. We have a student supporting Israel chapter on campus and a Tamid chapter, which focuses on business learning in Israel. So I would say most of the conversations around Israel are supportive. And then in terms of social justice, we also have a part-time rabbinic intern who oversees Tzedek initiatives, Tikkun Olam Fellowship, and he's starting a climate justice fellowship in a few weeks. So I would say any student interested in social justice has plenty of support and resources.
Wonderful. What challenges, if any, might a Jewish student face on campus?
Great. So we are a co-op university, which I can explain a little bit more later. But students on co-op are working in a professional setting for 6 months at a time. And if a student plans to take off for the Jewish holidays, it's definitely an opportunity, but sometimes a challenge to learn how to ask your employer for time off. Even though it's something every Jewish adult needs to learn at some point, it's a little tricky when you're only with them for 6 months at a time. But we try our best to support the students, whether they're asking for time off from their co-op employer or their professor.
Wonderful. So kind of flipping subjects again, but what is the most popular or well-attended program that you put on each year?
Great. Yeah, I would say in addition to our Shabbat dinners, we have a very popular early move-in program for Jewish students called Juniversity. Incoming students move into their dorm 2 days before everyone else, and we have a very meaningful and exciting Shabbaton experience where we get familiar with campus, explore Philadelphia, and meet other first-year and upper-class students. And I've been told and I've seen that Juniversity is where students like meet their best friends, which is really sweet. But then in addition to all of the Shabbat programs and Juniversity first-year engagement stuff, our holiday programming gets a lot of attention, and our learning fellowships are very impactful as well.
Wonderful. What is one interesting piece of information about Drexel that you would want people to know?
Right, so I mentioned the co-op program, and I would say that's why 99% of students choose Drexel. So what that means is we are a quarter term system. So we are broken into fall, winter, spring, summer terms. And students alternate classes with full-time employment through university approved employers. So generally students are on co-op for 6 months at a time, and that alternates with 6 months of classroom study. And they can, depending on the major and their interests, they can either be on co-op once or twice, maybe 3 times. But I think it's a really valuable work experience that puts Drexel students really ahead of their peers when they graduate. And I would say a majority of Drexel students graduate with jobs, usually with one of their co-op employers, which is very unique.
Very helpful. And finally, my last question is, what do you love most about leading the Jewish community at Drexel University?
Yeah, this is my favorite question. So I would say Drexel students are very professionally driven, but they're so creative at the same time. That I would say the students are very unique. We have an arts educator on staff who works with all types of students and majors to explore the arts as a manifestation of Jewish identities. So it's really fun hands-on learning that enhances the student experience around Jewish values, culture, heritage, and supporting mental wellness. And I think it just shows just how unique Drexel students are of being able to be a engineer major, but then also create this art gallery at the same time. Yeah, Drexel is just so fast-paced, but also ambitious, and the students are just very inspiring to work with. It's my favorite part.
Wonderful. Well, those are all the questions that I have. Thank you so much, Hannah, for joining us. And we will provide information to anyone who's interested in learning more in both the YouTube page as well as in other areas. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.